this is Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with
Mom.
And this is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. What are we going to be making today?
Today we're making mashed sweet potatoes with a little added sweetness.
Yeah, sort of like, it tastes like a pumpkin pie kind of thing.
Okay, we're going to be making mashed sweet potatoes, so of course you need sweet potatoes, some butter, I'm using some maple syrup, brown sugar, nutmeg, and ground cinnamon, or you can even use pumpkin pie spice mix if you don't have individual nutmeg, cinnamon, and so forth. So this is quite easy. We're going to peel our potatoes. Okay, we're going to peel our potatoes. Now, again, if you remember, we're doing 4 for now, but if you're having more company, you would, use more potatoes, and then, of course, more of the ingredients as well. If it's for one person, you may want to use 1 potato or 2 potatoes. Mm-hmm. And this is the pumpkin spice mix that I was talking about. And pumpkin pie mix has cinnamon, ginger, allspice, nutmeg, and cloves in it.
Yeah.
So it gives it a little bit of a more robust flavor.
Mm-hmm. So let's show us how you would peel a sweet potato. What would you do?
Well, you want to get ones that are nice and firm. Mm-hmm. Maybe not too big because sometimes it's harder peeling. Mm-hmm. Sweet potatoes, the skin to peel them is a little harder than a regular potato.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I wanted to show how to do it this time.
So I'm just using my peeler.
Yeah.
As normal.
Yeah. Now, if you don't have a peeler, you can use a paring knife or some sort of knife, but be careful when you're peeling. So, what'd you just do there, Ma? You saw like a bad spot you peeled away?
Yeah, I didn't get it all. So
yeah.
So it's pretty easy. Although, like I said, sweet potatoes are a little more dense than regular potatoes. So sometimes they give you a problem with either peeling or cutting them.
Yeah. Now, what do you do with the tips here? You just chop them up.
Go like that.
So then, what would you do after this? You would just kind of cube them up.
Cube them up.
Yeah, let's cube up this one.
I'll show you. Then what I usually do, of course, you have to wash them.
Yeah.
So see, this is harder cutting into it. Mm-hmm. So you just have to be careful with them.
Yeah, they're a tough group.
So we're just cutting them in, pieces.
And then you
don't want to make them too big because then it takes longer for them to
cook,
get soft and cook down.
Yeah. So Ma, you're here. You're gonna rinse them off now.
After I cut them all up, I'm gonna rinse them,
and
then I'm gonna put them in the pan to cook.
Yeah. All right. So what we'll do is we'll finish cutting up these potatoes and getting them all ready, and then we'll wash them and then cook them. How long do you think they usually cook for?
15-20 minutes. You're going to fork test them to make sure that they're nice and soft.
Yeah, okay.
And then you'll drain the water out of them.
All right. So, yeah, we'll cut them up and then clean them.
Okay, here we are. We have them all cut up, and you can see all of our peelings. And we're going to put that in our, we have a compost bin.
Yeah.
And, sweet potatoes are very versatile. Some people only think that you can bake them, which they're absolutely delicious. Just wash the skin, put them in your oven and bake them until they're soft. Mm-hmm. One suggestion when you're doing a sweet potato, because a lot of times they'll ooze out almost like sap when you're baking them. So put them on a piece of tin foil when you're baking, or you're going to have your oven real messy. And then you can just put a little dab of butter. Some people put a little bit of sour cream and cinnamon on it. Mm-hmm. And another thing, you can actually roast them. You peel them like we did here, but you cut them long ways. And you could do roasted sweet potatoes with onion, which are great.
Yeah, well, I'll probably end up making a recipe of that too.
We will. So
Anyways,
I'm going to just rinse these off, put them in my pan to boil.
So that's just all my mom's doing is she's just kind of rinsing them off. Even though I guess you want to rinse them off anyways, because I was gonna say.
You had your hands all over them.
Yeah. No, I was thinking the only reason why you would have to rinse them off, like if you're keeping the skin on, but that I didn't know that you rinsed them like that. All right. So we're gonna put them in this little bowl right here. Cover it with water, right? Now, how much water do you think? You just gotta have it, you know.
Well, what I'm gonna do is you want a pan big enough because you want to put the water to about here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
so that not totally immersed, but so then you can move them around, and when they start to cook, they're gonna get softer and shrink a little bit.
Okay.
So here we are. You can see where my water line is, and you can add a dash of salt to this in cooking, or you don't have to add it. It's whatever you prefer. So some people who are trying to do a low salt diet, you don't want to add any extra. That's fine.
Yeah, so we're gonna just cook this for about 15-20 minutes. And
yeah, and we'll show you before we take it out that they have to be nice and soft and really tender to put a fork very easily through them. Okay, here we are. See, they're all boiled, and see what I'm talking about? That they're so easy to push them when they're all cooked. So I'm going to take this and drain this. Okay, here we are with our drained sweet potatoes, and just a little hint, when you drain these, you want to let them sit for a few minutes in the colander so that all the water gets out of them, because also sweet potatoes seem to take on more water when they're boiled.
So now what are we adding first, Ma?
Okay, we're going to add our butter first. And I have two different kinds of potato mashers. One's a round one, one's a... So either one works fine. Or you can even use an immersion blender. And so you just start smashing everything up.
So yeah, this is basically how you would make mashed potatoes too, but
the mashed potatoes you just use butter.
We'll use maybe we'll make a recipe on that. I'm not a huge fan of mashed potatoes. I'll eat sweet potatoes though, although I didn't always used to.
Okay, anyways, I'm going to add our brown sugar.
And how much was that? Did we measure?
Anywhere from 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons.
Now, why do they call them sweet potatoes? Are they actually sweeter than regular potatoes? How does that work? Do you have any idea?
It's a different flavor.
I've always wondered. Like, you know, someone might be wondering if they're called sweet potatoes, then why are you putting like all this butter and brown sugar and stuff?
Well, we're just enhancing everything.
Yeah. So now we got that.
Okay, I'm actually gonna put some of the pumpkin pie spice in it today, and you probably put maybe a half a teaspoon or so. And then
you're gonna add the syrup. Well, mix this around.
If you wanted to, you also could bake the potatoes. Scoop them all out. Scoop them all out. And you know how people you do with a white potato, they call it twice baked? So you scoop it all out, you mix it with whatever you want, and you put it back into the potato skin and bake it for a little bit.
Yeah.
That would be great too. You can experiment.
Yeah. Some people actually take, they do sweet potatoes and they put marshmallows in it, which I have tasted one time. I'm not a huge fan of the marshmallows.
I just put in about a good heaping tablespoon of the maple syrup.
Yeah. And you just stir that up.
And there we are.
So you're not gonna add the cinnamon and nutmeg?
No, because the
pumpkin
spice has it all in. So I'm just gonna plate this up.
All right, here we are with our sweet potato mashed potatoes.
I can't bend them too far down.
Yeah, because it's a little liquid. Anyways, I'm gonna taste them. Like I said, I didn't always like these, but lately I've been liking them because that's very good. Because you get like the because I had sweet potato pie one time, and it's you get kind of like a mashy. You get a little sweet in there. You get a little Definitely tastes the cinnamon. But yeah, I didn't always like it because I never liked sweet potato pie, and then I tried it. I was like, oh, this is good. And then my mom made it, and I was like, this kind of tastes like pumpkin pie. So yeah, I really enjoy this, and yeah.
It's just a little something a little different to do with your sweet potatoes.
Yeah, some sides, whatever. So if you want to buy a cool Cooking with Kenshin1913 apron, go to the link below at Etsy.com. So this has been another Cooking with Kenshin1913. And that's about it.
Enjoy and happy eating.